Next, we'll have Brother Aravind talking to us about his experiences. But before that, a bit about Brother Aravind. Brother Aravind commenced his spiritual journey with Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba from a young age. He completed his bachelor's and master's degree in chemistry from the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Prashanthi Nilayam with the gold medal for academic excellence. Currently, he is a freelance content creator, creating content to spread Swami's stories and teachings. He served as a content creator at Radio Sai Global Harmony, which was the media division of the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust. His work spans from ideation to the multimedia production and dissemination of spiritual content. Based on the life and teachings of Bhagwan Baba for the past 13 years, he has produced video documentaries and hosted radio shows with hundreds and thousands of viewers worldwide. He is a regular speaker in the ashram at Puttaparthi, addressing speakers on various life topics. He has addressed virtual and physical gatherings in the USA, Caribbean, Middle East, Sri Lanka and Nepal, and Pan-India. He mentors youth from across the world in their personal and professional issues from a spiritual perspective. He has authored 4 books which have been widely read, and his blogs, which with over 3 million views, has inspired many. His hobbies include photography, theatre, badminton, and cricket, and he endeavors to excel in all he takes up. We'd like to call Brother Aravind up to the stage, please.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Dearest Swami, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, my heartfelt greetings, Kia ora Fana, to all over here. It feels wonderful to be in this beautiful country, beautiful land that values virtues, that values its culture, that values practices, all the things so dear to Swami. No wonder that he called this place as New-Sailand. I often wondered why is it that he called New Zealand as New-Sailand. And even when I asked the New Zealanders, all they could tell me is Swami called it New-Sailand. I searched the internet, I searched everywhere. I could not find out why he called it New-Sailand, so I asked him itself. I asked Swami, and he answered me as an inspiration. And I thought I would share that with you. But before that, let me share an interesting experience. One of my first experiences in New Zealand. Today morning, I went to take a bath, and in the bathroom on the floor, I find a big bottle. I pick it up, it's written moisturizing milk, nourishing goodness, moisturizer, up, moisturizing, super moisturizing, Whoa. Somebody went out of the way to emphasize that it moisturizes. So I said, okay, this is something that I will use after my bath then. I kept it to the side. I had my bath, I took out my own soap that I had brought. And then after the bath, I took this moisturizer with liberal amounts and applying it. It got soapy and more soapy, and I thought, no wonder that they have to tell it's a moisturizer, because people could think it's a body wash because it is soaping up. And guess what? When it soaped up so much, I definitely felt something was fishy, and I began to search. I searched, and down in fine letters it is written, body wash. So intent were they to say that it moisturizes that they forgot that there might be people who don't know that it's body wash. You need to put body wash big on top. And that inspired me to feel that this is possibly the plight of each one of us today. So obsessed are we about being doctors, being fathers, being mothers, being friends, being men, being women, being politicians, being whatever, that who we actually are is forgotten. And that's the reason also that the Spirit comes calling. Because don't forget who you are. Don't end up with unwanted soap on your hands, right? And that I felt is the purpose of these retreats, conferences, whatever. To pause and ponder on the purpose of life and the reason why we are where we are. And that I feel is the calling of the Spirit. That is the calling of the Spirit. It's always there. It's not that it calls once in a while. It's always calling. And that is the reason we experience dissatisfaction in life. Whatever we achieve, whatever we do, we never feel satisfied because the Spirit keeps calling. It keeps telling us that this is not what you need to achieve. These are all things that you do midway. This is just the moisturizing part of life. You're forgetting the actual reason. And from that got inspired why Swami called New Zealand as New-Sailand. I feel that Swami is showing the path, He replaced zeal with Sai. Because it begins with zeal. It begins with zeal and it culminates in Sai. This journey towards Sai, how does it begin? It begins with a new zeal. In Sanskrit, zeal is called utsaham. In fact, there's a beautiful subhashita. Subhashita means good words, which says, utsaham sahasam dhairyam buddhi shakti parakramam shadete yatra vartante tatra devopi tishtati. It means these 6 qualities of utsaham, sahasam, dhairyam, buddhi, shakti, parakramam, where these 6 develop and exist, there God exists. And among these 6, the first is utsaham, which is zeal or enthusiasm. And that is why, I think Swami gives us the term New-Sailand as an indicator. How do I reach New-Sailand? Through New Zealand. Meaning, through new zeal and 5 others are there. And I thought today we will explore a little bit in depth on what is the zeal and the other 5 too. I don't think he wanted to put all the 5, that's why it's called Zealand. So New Zealand. So the first most important trait, most important quality is to have that new zeal. That enthusiasm, that energy, that bubbling spirit to start afresh, to start every morning. I mean, how do we begin every morning? When I get up in the morning, how do I feel? Do I feel like, wow, another day has been given? What is it that I'm going to do today? If you're not feeling that, if you're not feeling it, something is wrong. And I know this from personal experience. After I quit Radio Sai, I had joined I had joined another corporate company. And within a few days, I noticed that when I get up in the morning, I am like, 2 ways of getting up. One is, good morning, God. That's one way of getting up. The other way is, good God, it's morning. And I noticed that I was getting up with, good God, it's morning. How I wish I can sleep. Sleep is so good. Just makes me forget everything. No utsaham, no enthusiasm, no zeal to look forward for the day because, oh God, I have to go there now. And ironically, I'm doing well at work. Within 6 months, I got a promotion, I got a raise. But I'm not having the zeal. It is an indication, it's an indicator you're on the wrong path. The body, God inside gives us indicators. We just don't listen. We think of these as emotions as a result. It's not an exhaust. It is an indicator. Inbuilt indicator. If you don't get up in the morning with energy and enthusiasm, something is wrong about your life. You need to change it. I don't know if it's your job, if it's the way you spend your time, if it's your entertainment options, it's the places you go, whatever it is that we are doing, something is wrong about it, and that's why we don't have utsaha. And that is the first step we need, first thing we need, enthusiasm. And when we have this enthusiasm, God who brought us on. I remember, the enthusiasm with which I joined Swami School. I was so excited to be there. I would, before that, I would sit in the devotee section and look at, wait for Swami to come like everyone does. And then 10-15 minutes before Swami comes in, would come these herd of white buffaloes. Literally like how you see the buffaloes on the Serengeti plains running when they're chased by a lion. They just come in rushing in, occupy all the front spaces. And then there's absolute silence when the music begins, because before that it's all murmuring. And then Swami comes and goes and starts interacting with these people. Swami, we were here before. We've been sitting for hours. These guys just thundered in now. And they were talking. And they're sitting in front, but we were actually earlier. But no. That's when I felt, no, I have to become a student. And I tried 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, never got in. Finally I got in, so therefore I was full of energy, enthusiasm and excitement. But you know what? That enthusiasm lasted only for a couple of weeks. Because I thought becoming a student of Satsai Higher Secondary School or Satsai University was the ultimate. That's done. Every day you get darshan. Every day you get darshan. What more do you want in life? But you realize it within 2 weeks, because you want darshan from the front lines. Then you get that. Not enough. You want darshan from front lines where Swami will take your letter, or Swami will speak to you. And then he takes your letter, and that is not enough, because he took others' letters as well. You want him to take a letter when he doesn't take anybody's letter, then you feel. Because our joys are all comparative. You want him to give special attention. First it is you wanting to have his darshan, then it is you wanting him to have your darshan. Swami, daily look at me, acknowledge me. There's no end to it. There's no end to it. But well, the enthusiasm in the early days, I still remember how I could not sleep at night. Tomorrow morning I'm going to step in as a student. Why doesn't that last? That's why Swami said zeal, and because zeal alone is not enough. Zeal comes like this, The Spirit is calling. What a beautiful song. Superb song. Salutations and pranams to the composers, to the singers. I'm sure Swami is so happy, but that's just zeal. And part is still left. That's just the beginning, enthusiasm. How do we sustain this enthusiasm? Because it's not going to be an easy ride. Always it's going to be grand. The launch will be grand. How do we ensure? Well begun is half done. Correct. But it's only half done. Well ended is completion. So, at that time I remember an episode. Uncle, this is 1 hour, right? 1 hour, my time. Okay. So I'll skip this episode and come back to the end, if this episode has time. Oh. Okay, so what happened is when I joined the hostel, I'm going into the episode, yeah. So, that's good. That is enthusiasm, yes. So they used to do this in the hostel at night. Everyone writes Om Shri Sai Ram so many times. That's like the Likita Nama Japa. And everyone is given sheets. And almost like an assignment, right? After a few days they collect it back. I didn't know they were going to collect it back. But when they gave it, I was so full of josh, Instead of writing Om Shri Sai Ram, I used to write, I love you Swami, I love you Swami, I love you Swami, I love you Swami. This was my Nama Japa. And then a week later they come and tell, okay, we're collecting back. I can't do this. It's very personal. I didn't know that this is the way the whole world writes to Swami, right? I thought this is something special that I have. But that is the speciality of Swami. He will interact with a million people, but he will make you feel one in a million. He'll make you feel that he has come only for you. So I used to write Om Shri I love you Swami, and I felt hesitant to submit it because I thought if someone sees it, I mean this is the divine romance. It's so secret, right? Physical romances, worldly romances, we keep it such secret. What about the divine romance? So I didn't want to give that. And then I got to know that all these at the end of the year are being offered to Swami. And I felt, oh my God, no, I can't offer to Swami because I didn't submit it, right? So now what do? I decided I'll do one thing. I can't give all the sheets, but I'll pick one representative sheet and I will myself give it to Swami. I was full of that, yeah, I will give it to Swami. And I said, Swami, this is not a letter, Swami. You have to accept this because this is my heart. I'm going to offer my heart to you and you better not reject it. I went and that day I was sitting in the 5th line and I didn't get the 1st line. And I was wondering, how will I give my heart to Swami? Because I'm in the middle. But then I told Swami, whatever it is, this is very, very special for me. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but I want you to take it today. That's it. You take it today, then I will know. Then I will know that everything they say about God, He seeks love. He is the one who sees the heart and all this. This is barely 2 weeks after I have joined. So I was sitting and Swami completed his darshan rounds. He went into the interview room. Yeah, I couldn't give that. I was thinking, okay, Swami, still there's time, but now I don't know how he will take because darshan rounds are over. Next he's going to give interviews, and after the interview gets over, Swami is going to go into the bhajan hall and for bhajans. I don't know how you're going to take the letter, but anyway, I will keep hope alive as long as you have not received Aarti. But I want it today, Swami, or else it's going to be a big blow. And then after interview, Swami opens the interview room door, comes out, starts walking. He's walking, and he comes near. But still, as I said, I'm in the 5th or 6th row. I don't know what to do. And then Swami just turns to the boys there and says, like this, make a path. And Swami used to do this sometimes. And immediately a path is made, like how the Red Sea parted for Moses. Path is made. And now I'm in the 1st line of the path. And I'm seeing Swami is here and wow. Okay, the path was made and Swami is walking in between. Then I felt, my God, Swami, I think I'm like the ultimate devotee, right? You came, you're making a path and you're coming. Like I'm like a Dhruva or a Prahalada. I pray and you're coming. And he comes, and I offer my letter and he takes it. I'm like, oh. I mean, the mind works very fast. Like it takes me time to explain what all is going on, but it all happened very fast. I'm just looking at the guy sitting next to me. You have no idea how lucky you are. Because you're beside me, that's why you're getting this. You had no idea. It's for my sake Swami is coming and you're all incidental beneficiaries. Collateral benefits, like collateral damage. This is what I'm thinking. And so I bend down to take Path Namaskar because I'm sure that before, in those days, I'm saying 1998, nobody will touch Swami's feet without him telling, because if they touch Swami, would sometimes turn and tell, hey, why are you touching? And that's it. That boy will be marked, somebody will be spotting, and that's it. Sit back, no sitting in front, and all that will happen. But today I felt no problem. I mean, he has come for me, so natural. So I bend down to take Path Namaskar. As I was touching his feet, a piece of paper falls, and Swami walks, and I see, it's mine. Yeah, it's my heart. Swami just discarded it and walked on. And the cruel people are laughing at it. But Swami had just thrown it down, That's what it is. When in our enthusiasm, we want to do so many things, but so many things happen. Enthusiasm is an accelerant. It's like a catalyst that props up everything. It props up even the ego. That's what happens, And the moment it fell, I felt so bad, and Swami walked away. I was like, and I was in tears. I said, Swami, I specifically told you it's not a letter, it's my heart. You've thrown it away. Why, Swami? Swami, I'm sorry. I know I got egoistic. Yeah, Swami, I'm not some great devotee and all. It's your love. I'm sorry, Swami, but please let this not end this way. That's why I say, well begun is half done, but it's only half done. The end is what matters. And Swami goes ahead, and for some devotee there, he begins to wave his palm and create vibhuti. Those days, anybody who has a white handkerchief could run up to Swami and offer it to him so that he can wipe his hand. And it was like a seva opportunity. It's not some seva opportunity and all. It's basically to get his vibhuti on the kerchief, which you can go frame it and keep it in your altar, But that's how every seva opportunity is. We may not realize it. We think that it's a seva opportunity, meaning I'm getting a chance to go and help someone. No, we're helping ourselves. We are getting something to enshrine in our own hearts. Every seva opportunity is like that, which Swami gives us. So I ran up. I had a white handkerchief, so I pulled it out. I used to wear a shirt just like this, 2 pockets. So in this, I pulled out my white handkerchief and rushed to Swami and offered it. Swami would usually, what he would do, he wouldn't even look, because he knows for sure that somebody will come there. Somebody will come with a handkerchief. So while talking to the devotee only, he'll just take it, he'll wipe his hand and he'll throw it, and you keep watching his hand, and when he throws it, you catch the handkerchief, put it back in your pocket, take out some pieces of paper and give it to those who got vibhuti, so that they can keep the vibhuti in that paper, and that's it, you go back. If you're lucky, Swami himself will ask you for a piece of paper, take it and pack their vibhuti for them, if you're lucky. So that day I'm there, sitting there and watching his hands like an alert wicket keeper, because when he's going to throw the cloth, I have to, and I'm so busy watching his hand, I'm not seeing his face. He's actually looking at me. And then he throws the handkerchief and he pats me on my shoulder, and that is when I look at his face, because I'm kneeling down. And then he points to my heart. He says, "Give it to me." I was like, I said, "Give it." Oh, my letter was here. Okay, so I pulled that out. I forgot, it is so beautiful, it's so personal, the way he does it. I really felt like I shed a tear there, and immediately he said, like, "Give me your heart." I'm like, "Swami, give." Oh, okay, Swami. Then I remembered I gave it, and that was the first ever piece of paper that I gave to Swami. It was my heart. And I remember such a joy, such enthusiasm. I decided that day that every day I'm going to write letter to Swami. Every day. Whether he takes or not, I know he loves me. I know he loves me to pieces. I know he loves me to the moon and back. That's what they say, right? Something like to the sun and back, Pluto and back, to the next constellation and back, whatever. He loves me so much, and I decided I'm going to write, whether he takes my letter or not. It lasted only for a week. Because I wrote for a week, he didn't take letters, I stopped writing. That's what happens. That's why zeal alone is not enough. Very important. I somehow feel they're even arranged in a kind of evolutionary order, the way it happens. Sahasam. It took me quite some time to prepare this, because I had to get the exact meaning of these words. Otherwise, they're all very similar. It just feels like a random selection of 6 words. For example, Sahasam and Parakramam, which comes in the end, both feel very same in meaning, bravery. Like I was wondering, what, Swami, why two times? But if you go into the depth, Sahasam is courage and Parakramam is bravery. The difference between these two, Sahasam and Parakramam, is, in Parakramam there's no fear. You just go ahead. That's why it's the final step. You go ahead without any fear. Whereas in Sahasam, courage, there is fear. Despite fear, you overcome that fear and take a stance. You know there is fear. There is fear of rejection, fear of dejection, fear of failure, fear of whatever, all fear, fear of disappointment. But despite that fear, you take the right stance and hold on to that stance. Despite knowing that this might not bring you pleasure, you hold on. And this is very, very important to keep the enthusiasm going. If we don't have the courage to take a stance, the enthusiasm will just fizzle out. I remember this was in the year 2008. So, in the year 2008, Swami had announced that he would build homes for those affected by the flood in the Indian state of Orissa. and homes were being built. That was the time when Professor G. Venkatraman, who was then the director of the Radio Sai Global Harmony, the erstwhile Radio Sai Global Harmony, he decided that this whole project must be elaborately covered by photos and videos and everything, and therefore he decided that a two-member team from Radio Sai should go to the Indian state of Orissa and cover the whole program. Now, there's one brother Bishu and myself, two of us he chose, and the tickets were booked, everything was done, and we were to set out to Orissa. Somehow I just felt that I should not be going. It was a strange feeling, but I somehow felt that the way Swami was interacting with me, it looked, in the physics, those were the times when Swami used to speak to me, interact with me. It looked like Swami felt that I'm going to be here only. You're going to be here all these days. So I was like, I'll be missing for 4-5 days. And I used to be taking photographs those days, sitting right in the front. And if I'm missing, Swami will notice. And on one occasion, he had even asked, where is this photographer gone? Something like that. So I was thinking, maybe Swami has not been informed that I'm going to Orissa or something. So I went up to my director and asked him, sir, have you told Swami that I'll be going to Orissa? Why? You think you're so big? Yes. Actually, yeah, I really felt I'm that big. I can't tell him that. So I said, no sir, in case I go and I'm not there in the front, and if Swami asks, then see, don't think all this. This is an official duty. Whatever is decided, you have to do. That is generally the trend in the world, but that's not how it works on the spiritual path. Because on a spiritual path, yes, I have a duty towards my community, towards my organization, towards my society, everything, but my primary obligation and consideration is towards my Swami. And I need to follow Swami. I need to be on the path of dharma. Swami gives the example of Vidura. I'm sharing all this because it was not an easy decision for me to leave Radio Sai, to quit Radio Sai. And when I was wondering how will I get the strength, that is when Swami sent all these incidents to me. Happened in all random ways, but all clear pointers. Swami said that, remember, you may not be doing the sin, but even if you are a person who is supporting the sin, you are a sinner. You will have to bear that. Even if you are a person who is witnessing that sin, you will have to bear that sin. Even if you are a person who has knowledge of that sin and still not doing anything about it, you are still party to the sin. In a battle of dharma versus adharma, there is no bystander, there is no wall sitter. You are either on the side of dharma or on the side of adharma, that's it. So, when this discourse is there, this discourse in fact was played in the Sai Kulwant Hall as the first discourse during Dasara 2020, because till then, from Dasara 2021 onwards, I had left Radio Sai. Till then, for 8-9 years, I used to prepare the discourses that were played there, and let me tell you, I used to prepare it in a way praying that my ego and my thoughts should not come. Swami might. So, how, for an example, like Janmashtami, Krishna Janmashtami falls on different days every year because it's not a solar festival. So, if that year it's falling on 6th September, I'll just keep praying and I'll just, maybe randomly I'll say, Swami, any discourse that you have delivered on any 6th September, the first 6th September discourse that I come across is the one I will use. And I will go through the data. 6th September comes. I take it, put it on my timeline, and I move the cursor and land it somewhere. And say, Swami, from here, next 15 minutes will be the discourse. And that's it. And for that, I have been scolded at times. Because they say, what discourse you selected? It doesn't make sense. I said, I don't know. I didn't select the discourse. It came to so much that when I was called to the trustee's office and said, some one Dasara discourse was not making sense. Apparently some very erudite scholars had come, and that discourse happened to be Swami speaking about childhood and some stories. I said, such erudite scholars have come, and how you put down Swami? I said, sir, Swami wanted to speak that. You think that whatever you do is Swami doing? No, sir, I don't think like that. And it came to such an extent, I said, if you feel that way, please pick somebody else who picks Swami's discourses. Next event, again they came back to me only. They said, no, you only pick the discourse. Fine. I said, okay. This had happened. I'll tell you one more example. It is still there on record. 2018, I think. 2018 Ugadi. You know. This shows that even, when your intention is right, when there is purity in the heart, even an apparent error, So while editing that discourse, I prepared the discourse ready to be played in Pulwant Hall, and on Ugadi day I wasn't there in Puttaparthi. For some reason I was in Bangalore. And after the function gets over, somebody calls me from Puttaparthi and says, Aravind, how did you do that? That was fantastic. What I did? Wow, that discourse miracle, man. What discourse miracle? You bumped, you didn't come to Mandir. I am not in Puttaparthi. Then I get to know that in that discourse, Swami is speaking, Ugadi day. Swami is saying, people think that sound is coming from the speakers. But what they don't realize, and then there is a power shutdown in Pulwant. People are running. Somehow on that day, every time a Pulwant Hall program happens, it is run on generator. So that if there is a power cut, you can't switch over. Your lights will switch over immediately. But it takes time again to restart the audio system, put everything play. Somehow they have forgotten to do that. So I think 2-3 people got fired or fried because of that. But basically what happened, 2 minutes of silence, after which they put it on, and Swami continues and says, it is not the speaker that creates the sound, it's electricity. If you cut electricity, the sound is gone. And so they're asking me, how did you know that? And I felt very humbled. Thank you, Swami. Thank you, because that is the, when there is intent. So that was the last set of discourses that I prepared before I left. So I am praying, and when Swami said this, you'll be a sinner. I said, Swami, what do you expect me to do then? I have tried, Swami, I have tried telling strongly as well. But I don't think it's being heeded to, and I can't do anything. You have given me my job. And then Swami continues with that discourse, He says, and now you will say that? What can you do? You are just there. You are not wanting to do adharma, but you are on the adharmic side. I said, yeah, this only. Swami says, then gives the example of Vidura. Swami says, see, Vidura got up in the Kaurava court and stood against everybody. He told what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is wrong. He kept telling that one. And when it came to a point when he realized that they're not going to listen, because Krishna comes and tells, and they don't listen to Krishna also. If they don't listen to Krishna, where they listen to me? So Vidura just packs up and leaves. Swami said that way Vidura survives the war. Each and every person in that Kaurava court was annihilated. Vidura was the only guy. We speak of minority, he was a microscopic minority. He was the only soul guy. But yeah, even if 1 million people say a wrong thing is right, it doesn't become right. Even if you're the only person sticking to the right, you are right. Swami said that. Oh. And then Swami goes on, he says, look at Vibhishana. Whole kingdom of Lanka, he just gave up. He said, no brother, what you're doing is wrong. I'm going. So, when I heard that, that was one of the multiple indications where I felt, okay, Swami, fine. I'll courageously move ahead. So, here also, therefore I said, it's not about, it's not like, it's been decided that you have to go to Orissa, so you will go. It's correct, from a professional standpoint, it's right, but no, I can't. Because I am feeling in my heart that Swami has not been informed. I just said, sir, whatever, sir, but for my sake, can you, because Venkatraman sir would daily dine with Swami. I said, sir, if you get an opportunity, can you just tell Swami, sir, that I am going to Orissa. He thought that I am trying to get a chance. So he said, okay, if the opportunity comes, I'll tell, but whether I tell or not, you are going. Your tickets are booked. And I said, yes, sir, I am going, sir. Definitely I am going. please tell sir. I just felt it would be good. So, whether he didn't tell or he didn't get opportunity to tell, the day for my departure came. So tomorrow afternoon I have to leave. And I felt, Swami, if I am not convinced that you are permitted, I don't want to go. Because when I come back, this also I have had experience in life before. When I come back, and if you have not been told and you are upset, you are not going to be blasting others, you will be blasting me only. I have had that experience also. Previously I had had the experience in Vrindavan when I was a student. I won't go into that experience, but I did what I was told by somebody whom I felt is in authority, and that's it. Because if authority tells me do it, that's what it is. I did that, and then Swami fired me, and I was like, Swami, I can't even blame Swami. That guy told me, Swami, I just shut up. Swami, but shut up. So when I told him, I went back to this authority figure and told him, sir, see what has happened. You told me and now I am getting this. And he tells me, so if I tell you to jump in a well, will you jump? Don't you have your own? Cool. He got away. I had to go through that. So now I was very clear. I said, okay, if he is not going to tell, in my own way, I'll tell Swami. I'll tell Swami that I'm going to go. So that day, Swami was coming during darshan lines, and I had a front position thanks to Swami, only Swami, that's it. Swami used to keep asking, where's the camera, so frequently, so I would sit in front. So even when Swami would not speak, I'll come and sit in front, nobody tells me anything, and I'm just silent. And within 2 months, that became my place, and that's it, it's great. I got my own piece of real estate marble block, where I would go home every day, and nobody would tell me anything, and that's it. It was not some official seat or anything. It was out of Swami's love only. So when Swami came near, I got up and said, Swami, I'm going to, on the way to Orissa, we had to stop at another place. So I said, Swami, I'm going to Godavari and Andhra also, Swami. So I want your blessings. Why you have to go? They'll only come. Who will come? Swami, who will come? They'll come. They only. No, Swami, I'm actually going, Swami. Went off. No, Swami was reeled away. I was like, Swami, they'll only. Maybe Swami mistook for something else. But this is what happens. Swami never misunderstands mistakes. He knows everything. But we think that, oh, maybe it was not. So I thought, okay, know what to do. What to do. So today is the last day I have. Because tomorrow morning, Swami may not come for darshan. And tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock is my train. And those days, sometimes evening also Swami comes a little later. If he comes a little later, I'll have to leave. By 4 o'clock, I have to leave to go to the railway station to catch the train. Tomorrow morning darshan, not sure. Those days, Swami would sometimes come for morning darshan, sometimes not come. So I'm sitting here wondering now what to do. I said, okay, bhajan time, asli that track. I quickly tore another piece of paper, wrote a letter. Bhajan time, I'm going. Vedam bhajan, Swami sitting out, I'm trying. Swami is not looking at me, not calling. Even if he looks at me, he is not calling. And Aarti got over and Swami turned and began to go back to the car. Oh my God, no. Now what, I need a confirmation. I need a confirmation because now that I have told him, Swami's answer was not an affirmative. He did say no, but he just said, why you have to go? They are anyway coming. So now the answer for me is why you have to go. It's not like, so how can I go up now? So I did something which was extremely courageous maybe. Because I was feeling very scared, but I said, Swami, I need your answer. So as Swami was going, I just got up and walked behind the wheelchair. So the guy who was pushing the wheelchair looked and asked, what is it? Swami. He thought maybe Swami told me something. I risked my head. It's not that I was not scared, I was very scared what will happen. Nobody had done that. And he went and fixed Swami to the chair to the car, and now the chair would be taken in. And so he sat to the side, I continued standing. Swami looked, what? Swami asked. I said, Swami, I have to go to Orissa, Swami. Yeah, they are coming now, why you have to go? Swami, who is coming, Swami? All of them. I thought, oh God, now the chair is going in. The moment I know it hits there, the door will shut and it's gone. So, Swami, can you give me some vibhuti? I said. My idea was if he gives vibhuti, that means it is a blessing. If he says, no, I won't give, that means that's it, I'm not going to go. What? Some vibhuti you can give. Because there was a basket full of vibhuti packets in the car. Swami, can you give me vibhuti? Swami picked up 3 packets and gave me. I said, thank you, Swami, fine. Whatever you understood or not, you have blessed me. Means giving vibhuti is like blessing. Fine, okay, Swami. Yeah. I sat there and means, that was the beginning of a trend. After that, you will see in the later years, many people as Swami is going in, they start going near Swami. I was the guy who started that trend. But it was a very courageous thing at that point in time, but I felt okay, glad. And thank you, Swami. You have saved me from getting thrown out because you have given me. Others don't know what you said. They have seen you giving me vibhuti. So they'll know that, okay, Swami is fine with it. So nothing happened to me. I went back and I told Brother Bishu that, here, take 1 vibhuti packet. Swami gave me 3, you take 1. Like, what you did? I went and told Swami that I'm going. And, oh, is it? Yeah, I wish I also had come here. Now leave it and take this. Okay. So I was very happy, went back my bag, everything. So tomorrow evening I'm leaving. And the next day morning, in fact, I hear Veda chanting. That means Swami has come for darshan. Oh, cool, one more darshan before I can leave. So I rushed to the mandir, sat in the Veda. No morning student don't come, so the entire front block is empty. Sat in the front. And Swami was coming and I was so happy Swami was given vibhuti, right? When Swami came, I was smiling. Usually whenever Swami would pass by, if you're in the front, you just touch his feet. Today, I don't know, I just got up and said, so Swami, one final namaskar before I leave. So then, where you're leaving? Swami, Orissa, you gave vibhuti. I told you, anyway, your wish, do whatever you want. Oh, that is terrible. Your wish, do whatever you want. Ni ishtam, Swami said it. Ni ishtam. Your wish. Oh no, Swami, it's not my wish. Never should we have our wish. Swami, your wish. And I was like, oh God, the whole vibhuti is undone. It's like, I felt like Swami didn't give me vibhuti prasadam. He said, I'll make you vibhuti if you decide. I'll make you ash. I'll burn you to ash if you go. Like that. Swami came and sat for the bhajan. Throughout the bhajan again, I had scribbled another letter I was hoping. Didn't take, and Swami left. Now what do I do? I held the vibhuti. I got up, walked straight to the studio. GV sir, Venkatraman sir would always come by 8 o'clock itself, morning. Karma Yogi, amazing. I said, sir, excuse me sir. Yes. So, you're all set? Sir, I'm not going, sir. What? Sir, I told Swami and I don't think so. You told, what? Why did your office? He got very upset. And what do I do now? You can't, nobody else can go in your place because tickets is on the name. Somebody else can't travel on somebody else's name. I said, I don't know sir, but I'm not going. Very, very difficult thing to do. Very difficult. There Swami is upset with me. And here I'm upsetting my boss also. Perfect recipe for disaster after this. And I'm also having the weakness of a loud mouth. I get some good repartees and I just don't enjoy it myself. I feel like I deliver it up. So he said, you know what, Aravind? You have the least respect for elders. You just do whatever you want. I want to just wash off my hands. I have nothing to do with you. Go. And I said, sir, I felt I would rather hear this from you than Swami, sir. That's why he then like that, just get out now. I just went out. I came out. Then my other brother, Sai Prakash, he was going to go in and he saw that GV sir was like a fuming volcano. He said, what you did, man? I said, CG, I messed up the whole thing. Swami is upset with me, sir is upset with me, I don't know what happened. He said, what happened? I told him, see, like this. He said, good, yeah, what you did, you was right. No, so why are you feeling bad? I said, I'm feeling bad because I'm gone now. Swami is upset, yeah, sir is upset, I'm not going now, I don't know what. And then he told me that, as staff members, you had the opportunity to go and give emergency letters to Swami. So, Brother Satyajit would be inside, you can call up and tell I have an emergency letter. So, he'll give a time, he'll come down, he'll take the letters and give it to Swami. If at all Swami responds or does anything, he'll come and inform you. Otherwise, he'll come and say, hey, Swami took your letter. That's it. So, okay. So, write a letter, he said. No, I'm writing the letter. I asked him, hey, what should I write in the letter? Should I write I'm going or should I write I'm not going? He said, don't write either. I said, then what? No, you want to go or not to go? No, it's not that. What do you want? I said, I want Swami to be happy. Write that. I said, okay. Swami, I want you to be happy, Swami. Let me know what you want. I'm ready to this. But I'm very clear I want you happy, Swami. I don't care. Then I wrote, this is the proposed schedule, Swami. I wrote that letter and then I called up Brother Satyajit and I said, I've got an emergency. He said, what emergency? I told him, see, this is what it is. He said, oh, okay. Fine then. Maybe 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, Swami would have just retired. You just come and give your letter. I'll try to give it to Swami if I get the opportunity. Okay. So 1 o'clock I went to Swami's residence. Brother Satyajit came from the side door. I gave him the letter. He took it and he went in. And I went back. I had lunch and I was hoping because I've just got 4 more hours. And then he calls me and he says, Aravind, Swami said that this is a good plan. And he said that that boy is not telling me things in detail. That's why I didn't know. This is a good plan. I said, oh, that means can I go? He said, looks like when he's saying good. I felt, but if you want to confirm, maybe you want to give another letter? I said, yeah, sure. When? He said, yeah, around 3:30 you come and give a letter. Great. So I quickly ran, full again enthusiasm, utsaha. And I went and started writing another letter. And that time Brother Bishu also came and said, what? I wrote you a letter. He said, hey, I also write letter. I said, right, come, so write. At 3:30. And give the letter to Satyajit. And I was leaving because now I had a train to catch. Then he told, no, wait, I'll just tell you. I was like, okay, letter given and I'm going. So he said, no, wait, I'll tell you. So then I asked Bishu. I said, hey, what he'll tell? No, he'll check with Swami and come. Oh, so Swami can tell no now also? Yeah. Oh God, who you? I told Bishu, you should not have come. If now he does, no, you also can't go. So we were just waiting there. So 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, suddenly somebody else comes. Yeah, come in, we're inside. Oh, okay. So we went into Yajur Mandir. We go inside, Swami seated there. And door open and Swami sitting there. Oh, I didn't expect that. Swami, this fellow, keep jumping here, there, here. Come here, Swami. I don't know what he's talking about me, but I could hear this much that he said, this fellow keep jumping. I said, So for your photography, you don't even care about anything, you just jump. So don't go into that river. Godavari river is very dangerous. Don't go there. I said, Swami. If you want to step into the river, get into a boat and then go. Okay, Swami. Godavari, okay. You're going no Godavari? Yes, Swami, yes. So there you be careful, okay. I just didn't know what to say. I put both my hands on his knees and I said, Swami, I don't know what to say. Don't say, have love, enough, have love, don't say anything. Then I said, Swami, with your blessings, we'll leave. Swami said, yes, their blessings are there, you go. And then wait. He asked Satyajit to get one packet and that he brought. Swami said, this is for your journey. And he gave one big packet of mixture, savories, you eat it. And then Swami said, hey, where are the sweets? Go get sweets. So he went and brought a box of sweets. So usually you get ready-made box of sweets, So when he gave, I was that time only wondering which sweet Swami is giving, let me see. A laddu or a jamun or which sweet he is giving. That is the sweetness of Swami, I get so overwhelmed when I think of it. And I opened the box, 2 laddus, 2 jalebis, 2 jalebis. He has opened up 10 boxes and kept 2 of each so that, whichever you like, you can enjoy. Swami then gave us money. Swami said, Swami said, what, who, where, which ticket, who has booked? I said, what did you spend? I said, Swami, I have not spent anything, tickets, accommodation, everything is booked. Then Swami, actually later on, we left after that, but just before we could go to the railway station, Satyajit came running again and he gave us money. And he said, Swami said, they would have paid for your transport, your food, accommodation, everything. But you'll feel like buying something for your mother, no? So Swami is giving this letter. I didn't buy anything, those notes are still with me. You don't have to use those notes. But yeah, I'm running out of time, but the thing is, what I want to emphasize is this courage to hold on to Swami and be true. Get to know everything and take the decision. And take a stand. Very, very important. Otherwise, you won't be able to continue with your enthusiasm. That's why I think Sahasam comes second. The third comes Dhairyam, which is patience. I had kept one incident for each of these. So I'll quickly fast forward through because I think already I'm up with 15 minutes. I've got 15 more minutes. So Dhairyam is patience, and you need patience because even after taking a stand, it might be the right stand to take, but it's not like in that case, of course, it resolved immediately. But in some cases, it won't resolve immediately. It'll take days, it'll take weeks, it'll take months, it may take years. It may not resolve in your lifetime. But still, you have to stand by what you're convinced. That's all it is. It's not about, especially in the spiritual path, I'm saying. Otherwise, you can just say, these are the rules of my country and I'm following it. These are the rules of my organization, I'm following it. But when it comes to spirituality, it's a one-on-one with Swami. You have to be very, very clear. And it's not that this is what authority is saying, that authority may say. So, I mean, speaking of authority, after that I ran back and knocked on GB sir's room, Venkatraman sir's room. He looked and he said, no, you just go. I just opened it, went in. I said, sir, I'm going, but not to, I'm going to Orissa. Huh? Sir, you bless me, sir, I touched this feet. I'll come back and tell you the story, sir. I'm leaving now, I got a train to catch. He was like dumbfounded. Everything became fine and that's how we left. So, yeah, after having that, you need to have dhairyam or patience. There's a famous marshmallow experiment that they have done, where they give children marshmallows and tell the child that if you want, you can eat it now, but if you don't eat it now and you wait till I come back, I'll give you a second marshmallow. And then, unknown to the children, they have videographed what these kids are doing. So, there are some kids, like as soon as they leave the door, they just take it, done. There are some other kids that pick up and look longingly like this and then keep it back and go and again look longingly, and there are some other kids who will take and quickly and put back. Different range from not eating to eating to all the things in between. And they have actually tracked these kids going ahead in future, and they have seen that those kids who were able to withhold, who were able to delay that gratification, who were able to be patient and hold on, they have succeeded much more in all the worldly parameters compared to those who could not just resist and they had to, who were not having that patience. That sums up the power of patience, Even as young as children, when that is there, patience, it gives you the ability to delay that gratification. We want to things immediately because we want immediate gratification. Right now, if I do this, I'll get this, I'll be happy, that's what I want. No, but is that right? Is it right? Because the pleasurable path may appear good in the beginning, it will get thorny in the end. The right path may appear thorny in the beginning, but it's very comfortable afterwards. Very comfortable, you can move on it. As I said, well begun is half done, but it's only completing that matters. So, it is so important to be true to the conscience and connect to Swami within, and even if you're the only person on that path, it doesn't matter. Because that's what it is. Swami, that's what Arjuna told Krishna. Krishna, I want you, that's all. I don't care, you will be on my side. I won't be on your side, that's all. So that, when we have that courage, then we have the patience, then comes buddhi. Buddhi is discrimination. To discriminate. Because now that you have decided to wait on and hold on, you need to know what is right, what is wrong. You need to discriminate. And here also we face the confusion, because how do I make out it's the voice of discrimination or whether it's the voice of my mind? Because the mind is also very, very persuasive and powerful. I remember in grade 12th grade, when I was 17-year-old, in school, it was the time of the biology exam and I was studying biology in the garden there. And some of the boys, they were hosing each other with water, They were spraying water and they were playing. It looked so tempting to play. So I went and started playing with them. And then I realized, I have to study, man. So I come back and again start studying, and then again I look at them. Somewhat during exam time, you feel like indulging more in your hobbies. You're able to admire the beauty of the sunset more. It happens, When you have an exam, you just feel, wow, look at that sunset. Instead of seeing that sunset, I'm reading this boring thing. Let my vacation come, man. I'm going to sit and just look at the sunset. Never do that. After the exam gets over, we never, the holidays, not even look at one sunset. Possibly we don't even know the sun has set or sun has risen, because our lifestyle becomes like that. But somehow it happens. So at that time only I'm feeling like, hey, let me go and play some more. And 2-3 times this back and forth happened. Then I said, okay, here it is. Swami, until and unless I finish reading 2 chapters, I'm not going to have lunch. Because I love food. And I knew that my love for Swami and my love for food will combine forces to ensure that I sit and study biology. But I go back and start playing there, and I hear the lunch bell go off. Ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, I'm not even ready. Now, just 15 minutes, the counter will be open. If I get delayed, they will just tell me that I'm too early for dinner, that's all. So I need to rush now. But I have got to read 2 chapters. What do I do? Now, they show you right in cartoons, the devil and the angel. The devil wings like that. The devil, hey, Aravind. The problem is, in reality, they don't come like that. Because if they come like that, no, easily you can tell, hey, you devil, go. I know you're having a horn, you're having tail, and you're black, you go. You're white, with me, I listen to you. They both look like, listen, Aravind, like, no, you don't know what is. Who is the devil, who is the angel, you don't know. That's the problem. That is the problem we face, right? So one voice is telling me that, Aravind, Swami is very loving. He has a love of 1,000 mothers. Go have your lunch. Correct, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah. Swami doesn't like his children fasting. Hey, Aravind, that's generally. This is a special case. You had promised, you have given your word. See, everything is a means to an end. The other voice continues. If you want to study also, can you study on a hungry stomach? Not only would you have wasted the time before lunch, you're definitely going to waste the time after lunch as well. So you might as well 10 minutes have lunch and finish. No, Aravind, you have given your word to Swami, you have promised, you can't do it. Then again the other voice saying, see, so many times, so many people have broken their promises to God. No problem. God is used to it. Also. And then this other voice. The other voice is not very boring. Doesn't have arguments only, no creativity only. Yeah, Arvind, but you promised Swami that. And this voice is, what is going on? Yeah, correct. You know, any other points? Because one voice is so boring and dull and dead and same point repeating, hey, you promised Swami, you promised Swami. Then this other creative, more loving voice, no, it tells that, see, okay, fine. What you told Swami, you will read 2 chapters. You didn't tell you will study 2 chapters, right? You just have to read. You need not study and assimilate and understand. So simply the English, you just have to go through the English, right? Arvind, but hey, come on, I know I promised, but that's what it is. It makes correct. I've read also, I've fulfilled. So quickly, in 15 minutes, I finished 2 chapters. Reading only, right? And then went for lunch. Had lunch. That evening I go to Mandir, and when I'm sitting in the Mandir, those were the days when 2-3 times, the first thing what Swami spoke to me, as a student, the first time Swami spoke to me, he said, mental hospital. That was the I felt so happy. Because it doesn't matter what Swami calls you. Swami spoke, what Swami told? Mental hospital. Mental hospital. Swami spoke to you? No. He spoke to me. Because when divinity, when pure love speaks, everything is wonderful. Swami look at somebody, hey, giraffe, he'll call you, some tall person. Oh, Swami, he's so happy. There'll be a little fat person, Swami tell, hey, you pakoda. Oh, yes, Swami. Yeah. You're feeling happy. Swami tell, hey, potti vadu. In Telugu, potti means dwarf. A short person, no, Swami is directly on his face calling, hey, dwarf. Oh, yes, Swami. So happy to be called dwarf. No, how? Because that is the love. You try calling him dwarf, he'll smash your nose. You try calling somebody giraffe or a potato, they'll smash you, they'll take offense. Not with Swami. Everybody Swami has some nickname and they're so happy. I was very happy with mental hospital. So I want to be known somewhere. So that day evening when I was sitting there in Darshan, Swami comes. And as usual, when he sees me, he says, hey, mental hospital. Nice. Swami recognized me. And then Swami walks a little ahead and calls one person and tells, hey, take him and admit him into mental hospital. This is the first time. Never Swami to tell others. I just hope that guy doesn't take it seriously, Because, yeah, Swami is telling as a joke. And then Swami walks further ahead, and then stops, turns around and tells, and when you admit him there, tell the doctors not to give him food. That made it very clear which is the voice of conscience, which is the voice of the mind. And another special thing, Swami said in Telugu, Atanki annam kuda ivvakudu. Annam in Telugu means food. Best thing is that day, that boy has been wondering that I have been here for so many years. Does Swami even know me? His name is Annam, part of his name is Annam. And Swami told, hey, don't give him Annam. Huh? And Swami smiled and he felt, Swami knows. So, two people, two messages. But that made it very clear, when it comes to discrimination, right? The voice of the conscience keeps telling the same thing again and again. This is what it is. This is what it is. It is a mind that will give you variety. Hey, why don't you do this? Because this is there, that is there, this option, this A, B, C, D, E. No. Conscience will tell you have to do this because this is what you have to do, that's all. Why? Because that is what you have to do. That is how the conscience voice will come. And Swami says that everybody has the conscience, including terrorists, Swami had said once. Terrorists also know. It's just that the more you listen to the conscience, the louder will its voice grow. As you listen less to it, the more feeble its voice will grow. It's only about having the guts, the courage to follow it. That's why discrimination comes after courage. Because once you have courage, only you'll be able to follow discrimination. You know this is right, this is wrong, but you're like, why take up all the headache, Why stand up for this? Why no need? Just sit, nothing. Don't do anything. Do nothing and it's fine. You get that feeling. So, that's why the next is buddhi or discrimination. And then the last two, shakti. Shakti is strength. Mental resolve and bodily strength. Because once you discriminate and you know what is right, I already told it. The next step automatically comes that you need to, as I said, have the courage and confidence and strength to do it. To do that. So, that is what you need. Mental resolve, bodily strength. That is Shakti. And finally, the last one which automatically comes, Parakramam. Parakramam is bravery. Absolute lack of fear. You just are brave. Yeah, I know it. I'll go. Like when I look at India has had conflicts. So wartime soldiers are there. There's a difference between wartime soldiers and normal soldiers. The wartime soldiers are truly brave. Having seen death in the eye once, they just go and what happened? I'll die. They just bravely go. That is the difference. Bravery and courage. And the non-wartime soldiers are possibly courageous. But the wartime soldiers are courageous and brave. Because I have done this before. I have played with death before. I have been on the verge of death before. I possibly have got shot before. I know what it is and I will go. And they go. So bravery is something where you move ahead without fear. But yeah, it comes when you do all the other things. Enthusiasm, utsaham, sahasam, courage, dhairyam, patience, buddhi, discrimination, shakti, mental resolve and physical strength. Finally, it leads to parakramam. And I feel when we go through this cycle and achieve it, that is when we become New-Sailand. It becomes the land of Sai, a new land of Sai, because I began with zeal and the other five, and with that I have achieved New-Sailand. And whatever be the retreats that we do, or whatever be the conferences, whatever be the satsangs, we should constantly move. We should develop our enthusiasm, support and grow that enthusiasm with courage, with patience, with discrimination and strength, so that we become brave. And it's like, I care for Swami, I'm ready to take on anything, bring it on, no problem, Swami is there. Hey problem, you are nothing, I have a big God. That's a famous cliche. When a big problem comes, don't tell, oh God, I have a problem. Instead, look towards the problem and say, hey problem, I have got God. We'll be able to do that courageously without any fear. Because, Swami, I know that I am truthful to you, I don't care. Automatically the spiritual evolution will happen. Possibly I'll conclude with the two monkeys, because the mind is a monkey mind, right? It's the mind that puts out enthusiasm by giving pessimistic thoughts, depressing thoughts. It's the mind that makes us feel the lack of courage. It gives you an easy way of, why do you want to stand up? Leave it. It's not your battle. It's not your fight. It's not your, let go. It's the mind that makes us impatient. Come on, how much time here? You see, they have already gone. They have already done. You are still stuck here only. That's what will happen. You and your dharma and your God, that's what. Dharma Raja, Yudhishthira, the eldest among the Pandavas, all his brothers told, oh brother, what happened to your dharma? Followed your dharma. I'm in the forest here like this. We had a million people following us. Now we have nobody. Other brother says, brother, you used to feed thousands of people on daily basis. You are not able to feed us now. Where did your dharma bring? Where did... Everybody lashes out on Dharma Raja. And he says, no, what I did is right. That's all. It's not about what did I get by doing dharma. Dharma means nature. That is my nature. I am doing it because it's right. That's all. Not because it will get me something. But when we follow dharma like that, ultimately it will get us. Because dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. In fact, when one devotee was speaking, one person from the army, he was telling Swami, what do I do if my superior, my commander tells me to do something that is adharmic? Swami said, you should reason out with him and tell him that this is wrong. Swami, but in the army especially, the line of command is very strict and strong. Very rarely will you get a good person who is ready to lend a ear. But even if there is a good person, but if he decides that what he has decided is right, what should I do? Swami said, then oppose it. Swami, oppose it. They'll court-martial me, Swami. Yeah. Swami, then my family will be on the streets. Then Swami said, it appears as if you have a very poor opinion about dharma. You have so much confidence in the army guy. I feel very emotional when I think of it because I can think of my own life where I thought it was all gone. And in my heart I know that Swami, I have just done it because you know. And how Swami protects, Swami said, it appears as if you have a very low opinion of dharma. Dharma will protect. How will you come to the roads? You follow dharma and see how will you come. It will not. We just don't try it at all. That is why the monkey mind needs, and that is the two examples, Hanuman and Angada. Hanuman, wow. Hanuman goes to Lanka, he has crossed the ocean, across obstacles. There's the Lankini who is standing at the entrance, who is supposed to be the most powerful demoness. He just vanquishes her with one slap. He brings down half of Ravana's army. He destroys the entire garden. So many things he has done, and he stands before Ravana. And Ravana says, who are you, you monkey? There are so many things Hanuman could have said. You're calling me monkey. I am the one who ruined half your kingdom. Anything. So many achievements he has. But what does Hanuman say? He says, I am the messenger of my Rama. Hey Ravana, see what has happened with the messenger. Imagine what will happen when Rama comes, Wow, that is a mind that has surrendered to the Lord. Then Angada goes, second time, Angada. Angada, it's amazing because Angada's father is Vali. I won't go into the details of the Ramayana, but Vali is a person who has been killed by Rama. Rama is a person who killed my father, and yet, Angada says, no, I am for Rama. Not my mother, not my father. Rama, I am sticking to Rama. When we think of these examples, Swami would place these. They are ideals, very, very tough to emulate, but that is what we have to strive to reach. Swami would say, look at Vibhishana, he just walked out, he didn't bother. Look at Angada. Here is Rama who has killed his father. And he goes and, Angada puts his leg there in Ravana's court and says, none of you can move my foot. What are you thinking of fighting with our army? With Rama at the head there. And then, everybody in Ravana's court comes and tries to move his leg, move his foot which he has planted. They're not able to move. And then Ravana himself gets up and says, I'm going to move it. Now this is a kind of a very dramatic and important climax here. Because Ravana has the boon that nobody can oppose him. He'll go to meet he would have asked that he should not be defeated by anybody. Only thing is he doesn't ask humans. He says the goddesses, the animals, the beasts, nobody should be able to defeat me. But he doesn't ask for humans because he feels like humans are what humans can do. And Swami there also says humans can achieve the ultimate. Humans are the most underestimated, but they are the only ones who can achieve God, the ultimate. But Ravana is not a defeat of Angada, it's a defeat of Rama, right? Because he's come as Rama's messenger. So it's beautiful. I mean, in the serial they show it so superbly, building up suspense more and more, like Ravana is getting down the step, Angada is standing, again Ravana is getting down the step, Angada is standing, Ravana is goes on 2-3 cuts between these two, then Ravana bends down, he's about to hold Angada's foot, then they take a commercial break, get back to you. And after the commercial break, when they come back, basically what happens is Ravana is about to catch Angada's foot and Angada withdraws. He lifts his leg away. And you think, oh God, what did you do? And Angada says, Ravana, not my feet, catch Rama's feet. Please don't touch my feet. Touch Rama's feet, you will get liberated. By touching my feet, you get nothing. And jumps back. Wow! What an answer, He sword, didn't get insulted, gave a punch, killer punch, and jumped back. That also the Lord gives. What an answer. I love that scene. Epic it is. Rama, don't touch my feet, please. Touch Rama's feet. On this evening, beautiful night, as we begin our retreat, as we move, as we make effort to listen to the Spirit calling, may we also take a vow that Swami, may we hold your feet. Hold your feet and be there forever. Your lotus feet is the only destination that's worth going to. Thank you for this beautiful opportunity. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Aravind. That was really amazing. Unfortunately, though, that brings us to an end to today's talks. But tomorrow, we have a lot more planned. We'll start bright and early at 7 a.m. for Suprabhatam.